In this video, I'll be demonstrating how a web application with common vulnerabilities can be exploited. As usual, for the vulnerable system, I'll be using a machine on HackTheBox. This one's called Cronos. We'll start off with our usual Nmap scan. The results show port 22, 53 and 80 are open. Let's start by investigating the HTTP service on port 80. It's just the Apache default page. Let's have a look at the DNS service on port 53 and see if we can find any host names. Using NSLOOKUP, we'll instruct it to query the remote machine by entering the server parameter and the remote machine's IP address. And then enter the IP address again. We can see there's a host name of Cronos.htb. We open up our etc host file in a text editor, add the IP address of the remote system and host name to the file and save it. Then we can access the web page on the remote machine. There's some hyperlinks on here for the Laravel web application framework. And the source code on GitHub. Let's have a look for some directories using the Cronos hostname we found. We'll be once again using dir search and we'll specify a PHP extension. There seems to be some content on here. Let's take a look at the robots text file. There's nothing of any relevance on there. And there's a web config file. Okay, so let's do some more DNS enumeration. We'll use dig and look for zone transfers on the hostname. We can see some more domains listed. There's an admin domain on here. So let's go and add this to the etc host file. Again, add the IP address and the admin.cronos domain name. Now let's visit the domain in our browser. There's a login form on here. We don't have any credentials, so let's see if there's any vulnerabilities in this login form. So we fire up Zap. And scan the login page. Looking at the results on the left-hand side, we can see there's an SQL injection vulnerability. And it's in the username parameter. We can do this SQL injection manually, or we can automate it. We'll do it the easy way and automate. We'll fire up Burpsuite. Click on the Proxy tab. And then configure our browser to work with Burp using the Foxy Proxy Firefox add-on. Click on Options, then Add, give it a name, add our local host IP address and set the port as 8080. That then populates here. Close this. Click on the Foxy Proxy button on the toolbar. Select Use Proxy through Burp. Then, on the login form, click the Submit button and Burp will intercept and freeze the request between the web browser and the server. We see the username and password parameter here, so right-click and send this to Intruder. Click on the Positions tab. Clear the current positions. Click to set a position after the username parameter, as that's our vulnerable parameter. Then click on the Payload tab. We then turn off Burp in our browser. And we'll go to Pentest Lab, SQL Injection Authentication Bypass Cheat Sheet. Copy all these SQL injection payloads from here. And paste them into Burp. Then click Start Attack. After a few minutes, the intruder will complete. As you can see here, some of the status codes and lengths have changed. This indicates that some of these payloads have worked and bypassed the authentication. We'll try this first one, admin'#hash. Go back to the login page. Enter admin'#hash into the username field. OK, that's worked and bypassed the authentication. We can see here there's an application with traceroute and ping. So let's test this and try to communicate with our attacking system. We'll open a terminal and use Tcpdump. Set the interface, and in the application, input our attacking machine's IP address. Here you can see we're receiving a communication from the remote system. So let's stop this. Let's see what else we can make it do. Let's see if command injection is possible. We can try to append a command to the end of this. Put a semicolon and try some simple commands. Appending with the ID command, we can see the current user, and using lsla, we can list and see the permissions of the files in the top level directory of the web application. Let's use the which command and see if netcat is installed. Yep, netcat is installed, so we should be able to get a reverse shell on this machine. We go over to Pentest Monkey and get the netcat reverse shell from here. We're not going to try the basic one, just in case the wrong version of netcat is installed. We'll use the longer version here. We'll edit it, add in my local machine's IP address and port. Set up a netcat listener on the same port on our local system. Append the input field with our netcat command here. click execute. And there we have it. We have a connection from the remote machine. Navigate to the home directory. We have access under user new lists. When we try to navigate to the root directory, as expected, our access is denied. Let's do some privilege escalation. For this, we're going to use a Linux enumeration script. Before we go any further, let's upgrade this basic shell. To start with, let's check if Python is installed. Type Python v to see if Python is installed and which version. Yes, it's installed. Now, we'll use a Python command to upgrade the shell. It's always handy to have these commands saved for ease of use. Input the command. There, that's been upgraded to a Python shell. As you can see, we have a cleaner display in the shell. Now let's navigate to the tmp directory as we need a writable directory. We'll head over to the LinEnum GitHub page, click on raw, copy the URL, navigate to a folder on our local machine where we want to store the script, open a terminal, and use wget to download it. Let's go back to the remote machine and check if curl is installed. It is installed. This means that instead of copying the file over, we can run the script from our local system to the remote machine. So, we set up a Python HTTP server on port 80. Then, we use curl, input our attacking machine's IP address and port using the HTTP protocol, and the script name, and pipe it to bin bash. It takes a few seconds to run. There's lots of information here, so we'll start from the top. For privilege escalation, a good place to start is the cron jobs. So let's take a look. There's a cron job here running a PHP application as root called artisan. Let's take a look at the artisan file. We can see it's a PHP file running some functions from a kernel file. So, let's take a look at the permissions on the file. Our current user can write to the file, so the best and most destructive way to use this to our advantage is to overwrite the contents of the artisan file. If we look at the PHP documentation, there's a system function we can use. We can put a command within the parenthesis and it'll be executed. So, let's use our netcat reverse shell again, encapsulated within the parenthesis. We'll use the echo command to overwrite the artisan file with our netcat command. Set up a netcat listener on the same port as in our netcat command. and then copy the entire command and execute on the remote system. After a few seconds, the remote system will run the cron job and execute the file with our command. As you can see, we've received a connection back. Let's check which user we are, and there we have it. We have root access. And that's it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching.